Hi there, this is Love Johar. Thank you so much for tuning in this video and thank you so much for watching this channel. A very important concept we will discuss in this video, which is related to the marketing, digital marketing for any organization. How does GDPR affect the digital marketing? So, two main digital marketing activities are being carried out by the organization that are mainly impacted by GDPR. One is data gathering and profiling, and the second one is targeting. Okay, these are two activities. Now, in this video, we will understand what needs to be done when performing these two activities and much more. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section. Thank you. So, GDPR has basically forced the businesses to rethink the way they conduct their digital marketing activities when using personal data. Okay, so in the digital environment, whether the organization conducts data analysis concerning its customers' online activity or whether it simply uses a mailing list to send electronic marketing emails such as activities. So all such activities need to be framed with the context of the stricter obligations imposed under the GDPR. Okay, so you have to make sure that you understand the stricter regulations being enforced, the existing framework that has been brought up, and you should always abide with the rules which are applied under the GDPR. Okay, so first of all, what are the two main digital marketing activities which are impacted by GDPR? Number one, digital marketing involving personal data would normally consist of two main activities. One is data gathering and profiling, and the second is targeting. So, what is data gathering and profiling? Collecting any information relating to the customer interaction with the objective of analyzing the market and creating unique customer profiles is called data gathering and profiling. Additional processing to keep track of the customer choices with a view of improving the product being offered based on the specific needs is called data gathering and profiling. Okay, and now what is targeting? Reaching out to the individuals by communicating the product offer. Okay, when you are reaching out to the customer, you can be reaching out to the customer through SMS, through email, through any other instant messaging, push notifications, whatever. Okay, so it can take any form of electronic communications. Even targeting based on specific profile groups or segments as well is called targeting. Okay, so more personal data is used in conducting these market activities, and as such, more challenging it's becoming for the organization to ensure compliance under such scenarios. Okay, so now let us understand what are the golden rules to follow in this case when organization is performing the activities which we have just discussed. Okay, so number one golden rule to follow is to have the right to object. The data subject has the right to object to data processing for the purposes of direct marketing. Okay, this also includes profiling, which is carried out for such purpose. An individual may object at any time and free of charge for this. Okay, in case of an objection, the personal data shall no longer be processed for such purposes. So the golden rule number one is right to object. If the data subject objects at any time, and it should be free of charge, so accordingly the respective personal data shall no longer be processed. Okay, in that scenario. Second is transparency, more transparency. So GDPR requires controllers to be more transparent about their processing activities, including when these are conducted for marketing purposes as well. Okay. In such cases, the individual should be clearly informed. The data subject should be clearly informed about the nature of processing being involved in this scenario and the extent of marketing activities that will be conducted using the personal data which is concerning the data subjects. Okay. Moreover, information about the right to object to the processing of personal data for direct marketing, including profiling, should be explicitly brought to the attention of the data subject and presented clear-wordedly, and clearly and separately from any other information. So, transparency is very important in this scenario, as I can understand. Information about the data subject's right to object to the processing of personal data for any sort of direct marketing, including profiling. This section should be clearly and explicitly brought to the attention of the data subject. Okay, so that the data subject understands the criticality of this section. Okay, then you have active consent. This is the third golden rule. Okay, where the processing is based on consent, this shall comply with the requirements imposed by Article 7 of the GDPR. Apart from the requirements to ensure a freely given, specific, unambiguous, and informed consent, the law also requires that this consent is given by means of a statement or a clear affirmative action. Okay, which is very important. Therefore, a consent should be active and not passive. Okay, it means that, pre-ticked boxes are not acceptable. It should be a clear consent. And if you have already pre-checked boxes, that will not be considered. Okay. And second thing is, consent should be documented, and evidence should be kept by the organization to demonstrate that this consent has been obtained, should also be there. Okay, so consent has to be active. Okay, complying with the requisites of valid consent is vital to legitimize the processing of personal data for direct marketing. It is very important that you have active and valid consent, and this is highly recommended for a marketing in an online environment, especially for the processing of personal data gathered through cookies and use of online behavioral targeting advertising, and also electronic marketing communications based on an opt-in consent. Okay, so the third rule is active consent. The consent should be clearly obtained. It should not be a tick mark. It should be a clear consent, and it should be done actively by the data subject. That should be there. If you do not have active consent, the marketing team cannot send any sort of marketing related targeting and profiling, which we already discussed. Okay, now after that, fourth golden rule is granular options. Okay, so organization should also provide the individual with clear and granular options when it comes to the marketing preferences. Okay, consent for electronic marketing should clearly be distinguished from other processing operations which are also based on consent. Okay, so if you are sending a consent request to the data subject, the consent for electronic marketing should be separately laid out. It should not be a part of the other activities, okay, for which you are asking the consent. So you have to be mindful of that. Likewise, where an organization intends to use the personal data to market products or services for other third parties, additional options should be given to the individual for such purposes. Okay, so again, this is very important. If some organization is marketing some third party organizations product and services, again you have to give a specific consent detail related to this information to the data subject. Okay, so that the individual should be in a position, the data subject should be in a position to have a choice, and he or she should indicate his or her marketing preferences accordingly. Okay, and easily choose them. So this is again very important to do. After that, you have opt-in and soft opt-in approach. Apart from the general application of the GDPR, the sending of direct marketing by electronic means, example SMS, fax, or automated calling, is subject to more specific rule under the e-privacy directive. Okay, these rules are still applicable until they will be superseded by the much awaited e-privacy regulation. Okay. Under the e-privacy regime, the general rule is to obtain an opt-in consent prior to sending marketing communications, which we have already discussed. There is, however, an exemption in those cases where the contact details are obtained from customers in the context of a sale and provided that they are used by the same company to market similar products or services. Okay, so for example, if somebody has bought your product or service, okay, and they have provided their information in the context of getting a product or services from you, okay, so you can use the same information, the personal information being provided by the data subject in that scenario, to market similar products or services to that particular data subject. So this is an exemption, you can do that. Okay, but when a customer, a data subject, has already purchased a similar product or service from you, okay, so in such cases, when you do that, which is exempted by the GDPR, you can do that. Okay, in such cases, an opt out, okay, should also be clearly offered, okay, so that the data subjects have the option to opt out as well if they no longer want to receive such targeted messages or targeted profiling from your side. Okay, now I think we have discussed a lot in this video. So thinking about all these parameters, what comes to my mind is organizations should reconsider their marketing processes, you know, as per GDPR, especially when this involves the use of personal data. A lot of personal data is being involved here, and their marketing practices should be clearly laid out, as we have already seen, and transparent. The data protection policy should be clearly laid out, and all the related notices which are made available to the data subjects should have clarity and transparency. These are the two things which are clearly important from what we have understood. Okay, and individuals being featured on the mailing lists should be there legitimately. Okay, and all the individuals should be given an option to opt out, so that if they no longer want to receive the mailing lists, the marketing activities, they can opt out easily. Okay, so having said that, personal data will remain an essential tool for businesses to conduct marketing activities, and especially in the digital environment. Okay, so GDPR has actually strengthened the data protection rights, making digital marketing more demanding for organizations. So now, after understanding this, uh, if you think there is a need, then you might have to re-engineer your marketing processes so that you can ensure compliance and continue with your digital marketing activities which you are performing as an organization. So I hope this makes sense, and as always, if there are any follow-up questions, please feel free to ask in the comment section. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.